What's up, guys?
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Sana, you look even better. You look better looking on the computer than you do in person.
Nice.
Ooh, that's funny. How you doing, Kanal?
Afternoon, Coach. How are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing even better now that I'm talking to you guys.
How's Tennessee?
You know, Tennessee has been a little rainy this week, and not that exciting. But our group has still been here working, and I was proud. We made 100. We made outbound calls yesterday from our team. Eric White made 77. Lake and Hibden made 82, and Coach Burt made about 25. So we're still working our sales system and working our sales cycle. And I'm a big believer, as you know, in routine. I'm a big believer in hard schedules. I'm a big believer in not breaking routine, because I think the first time you break a routine, it gives you permission not to go back to it, right? So I've kept the same schedule. I've kept the same work ethic. I've kept the same thing during this whole situation. Just because I have certain beliefs, and I think every action we take is driven by our beliefs. So I operate off certain principles. And my principles are: money follows energy, money follows circulation, money follows action, money never follows stagnation. Okay? And whether you can go somewhere or can't go somewhere, you're working from home, you're working from wherever, money's never going to follow you sitting in a contracted position. So I'm going to show you today some things that I've been doing. And I'm going to show you how I've taken action, because we've actually generated probably 200 to 500 leads during this month. Okay? So, and I'm going to show you how we're doing that. All right. And I'm going to mute everybody just for a second, then we're going to call on people. Okay? All right. Let me pull it up. And I'm going to give you some mindsets that we have. Okay? Because this is very important. See, when I see a period like this, I want you to think there's going to be things that are dangers to your business, no matter how you run a business. There's going to be external dangers to your business throughout your whole life. Okay? Right now it's a virus. It'll be something next year. It'll be something the year after that. And one of the things I want you to get in your brain is I want you to get in your brain about being conditioned, to being mentally and physically and emotionally conditioned to handle things. Okay? And when things happen, right? I was raised by a single mother, had me when she was 16. She wouldn't let me miss a day of school. When I come home, she wouldn't let me whine. She wouldn't let me complain. She wouldn't let me make excuses. I remember when I was 16, I came home and complained about my basketball coach. And she says, remember our rule in our house: we don't whine, we don't complain, and we don't make excuses. And she said, you can either stop whining or you can quit. But I'm not going to let you quit because you committed. And that's the kind of toughness that I was raised with. Well, what I'm finding out now, during this external environment, is a lot of people have not been conditioned with that toughness. So as soon as there's a difficult time, the very first thing they want to do is shut it down. They want to quit, right? And what I'm trying to do as a coach is to give you the mindset of a monster producer. I'm trying to give you the mindset of a top performer. All my top performers during periods of fear exert more energy. Meaning they make more phone calls, they touch their current clients more, they do more Facebook Lives, they do more Instagrams, they do more social media, they hit their database harder. Like during times of fear, big time people never contract. That's one thing I've been teaching you guys this year. Small time people get scared, contract to a place of comfort, right? Big time people exert. Now this afternoon, after I do this with you guys, I'm doing a webinar at 1:00 about how to increase sales without spending more money. When you hear me use the word expand, okay? Don't contract, expand. I'm not saying you got to spend more money, although there are people still spending money. How many people believe that? Yes or no? Yeah. See, a consideration. See, one of the things I'm trying to beat out of my team is a consideration. See, somebody told my team members last week not to try to sell anything right now, that they just need to call and check on people and check in with people, make sure they're doing okay. And I said, I don't know who told you that. You can check on a person and still sell them something. Like that's a consideration. A consideration is nobody's buying anything. The world's falling apart. Nothing's happening. Okay. What the media is not telling you, there's a 98.2% survival rate of this virus. Okay. That's one thing they're not telling you. Okay. And they're not going to tell you that. So when you think about this, a consideration is you've made a decision internally. Now is not a good time to sell. Why even call people? Everybody's in a panic mode. Everybody's contracting. That's an internal thought that you have that prohibits you from taking an action. I pitched a $100,000 deal yesterday. I didn't have any reservation at all about pitching it. Here's the deal. Here's what you get. Here's how much it costs. Now, all the dude can do is come back and say, what? I'm not interested. Or okay, would you be interested in a $60,000 deal? Would you be interested in a 40? Would you be interested in a $25,000 deal? See, a consideration is I've already made up my mind that I can't sell anything right now. And that's just an internal consideration. So what is the mindset of top producers? That's really what I'm going to give you today. And then I'm going to talk about building a healthy immune system in your real estate business. What is the mindset of top producers? When I think about King David was a great king in the Bible. And every year he went into battle. Okay. And he had a mindset. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to find a way to win. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to find a way to win. Does that sound like business to you? It's going to be a fight. It ain't going to be easy, but we're going to find a way to win today. Right? Now, here's the problem with David. David went into battle every single year. And when he was in battle, he was great. Killed Goliath, went into battle, was incredible. Then one year he decided to take a year off. And David stayed home. And that's when he saw Bathsheba bathing over on the rooftop of the house beside of him. And then he got sidetracked, and then he got distracted, and then he didn't go into battle. Then his whole life went downhill. He went from being a great king to this guy who had this weakness. And let me tell you the point of that. When he was in battle was when he was his strongest. And when he was in battle, he had a mindset. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to find a way to win. This is a mindset I'm trying to instill in people right now. So one of the number one activators of Pray Drive, I've done Pray Drive with you guys, is what? Fear. Fear can become one of the greatest motivators for people in the world if used correctly. Fear, anger, anxiety, disappointment, nervousness, conflict, all of these things can become a great motivator. And what I believe has happened in our country is our country has been awakened from a slumber. The correction we're facing right now is because people were believing false positive. It'll last this long. It'll always be easy. People always spend money. People always have a lot of money. And I don't operate from that perspective, guys. I don't operate from that perspective. I want to give you 3 perspectives that I operate from, and I want you to write these down. Okay? These are 3 perspectives big time people operate from. Okay? Number 1, we go to bed tired and we wake up hungry. Notice I didn't say we go to bed energetic and we wake up complacent. We go to bed tired and we wake up hungry every day. And you know why we go to bed tired and we wake up hungry? Because number 2, I want you to write down, it all goes to 0 at midnight. It all goes to 0 at midnight. You got to tell yourself that success don't care what you did yesterday. It only cares what you did today. It all goes to 0 at midnight. Third thing I want you to write down is there comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. Everybody with me? There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. Now, why is this important? Right? Why is this important? It's important for a couple reasons. One of the biggest challenges in the real estate market is when people have some success. I'm sure Sonnet and Kanal could speak to this. And they have some success and they begin to believe their own hype and they don't do what they should have been doing. Like what I told you is one of the biggest things I'm upset with myself is there's a lot of things I'm doing today that I should have been doing the whole time. I should have been doing more social media. I should have been contacting our top clients more. I should have been engaging with people at a higher frequency. I should have been offering free webinars to drive leads. I should have been doing all these things. It just took this virus for me to do them, right? Because now I'm exerting more energy. Now I'm exerting more force. Now I'm exerting more outbound effort. And the reality is these are things we should have been doing the whole time, guys. We should have been calling our past clients. We should have been trying to engage with people. But here's what happened. So what comes along is a thunderbolt comes along. And a thunderbolt is an unexpected jolt of energy. Like, boom, I got to wake up. Now I'm afraid. What if I don't hit my sales numbers? What if I don't sell? What if I lose my job? What if I don't, right? Like now I got all this fear. but I'm going to use this fear to turn into cash. I'm going to use this fear to turn into cash. And that takes a mindset. How many of you think there's a shortage of money on planet Earth? Anybody think there's a shortage of money? No, there's a shortage of creativity. Okay. There's a shortage of creativity. The big time person says this is an incredible time to take advantage of an opportunity. Now, whether you like Trump or don't like Trump doesn't matter to me. He's a businessman. And one of the ideas he came up with, he said, if we bail some of these companies out, we want to take a piece of equity in the company. Now, I want you to think about that. Let's say the government takes a piece of equity in Royal Caribbean. They bail Royal Caribbean out when the stock's low. Stock goes back up. The country makes millions of dollars or trillions of dollars. We take that and put it toward the debt. Only a businessman would think like that, right? A politician would never think like that. Like, oh yeah, we're going to bail you out, but if we bail you out, we get a piece of equity in your company. I mean, that's a genius thing to do. I would have, right? Like that's how business people think. Well, that got me thinking. What about struggling people that I'm coaching? What if I took a piece of equity in their company because if they couldn't pay for it, but they need to coach it? What I'm telling you is big time people have a mindset of we're going to find a way to create money right now. We're going to find a way to create money. We're going to try to find a way to sell something. We're going to find a way to produce something. They do not sit in their house and whine and pout and feel sorry for themselves and go, oh my God, the sky's falling. It's the whole world's going to hell in a handbasket. What they do is they find a way. This is the mindset of we go to bed tired, we wake up hungry. It all goes to zero at midnight. Now, I'm going to send you the interview I did with Dr. Hodesy. And I did an interview with Doc Hodesy last week that's had almost 2,000 views on that. And he breaks down his take on this virus, okay? And one of the things he kept talking about is we need a healthy immune system. If we have a healthy immune system, that includes vitamins, minerals, exercise, eat right, sleep right, what happens is you build an immune system, and your immune system is trained to fight off any virus, no matter what that virus is, okay? If you have a weak immune system, because you're not doing all these things, you are susceptible to not just this, you're susceptible to the flu, you're susceptible to anything because you got a weak immune system. Well, as I was thinking about this, I kept thinking our businesses have an immune system. Here's the problem. We can't go back today and build a healthy immune system, right? Like if we smoke for 30 years, we can't go back today and say, man, I ain't gonna smoke. I can't, I want to take all that back. Okay. All we can do is start today and build a healthy. Now, if you have been building a healthy immune system in your business, when you get attacked, guess what happens? You have some form of immunity. Now, what would be a healthy immune system for a real estate business? Your prey drive is activated at the highest level. And I was coaching a dude this morning who's scared to death. And here's what I said, man, if your prey drive is not activated now, you ain't got no prey drive. Okay. When your back's against the wall, you don't come out fight, you don't have a prey drive. Okay. First step of a healthy business is your prey drive is activated. Second step of a healthy business, you got a world-class explanation of service. Like when I put you in front of people, you're good. We believe this, we believe this, we believe this. Because of this belief, here's what we do. Here's how we do it different than other people. Okay. Number three, you're working the selling system, which means you got a hit list, you got a farm club, and you got a top 25. Now, let me ask a question here. I'm going to ask Sonnet this question, so I'm going to unmute you, Sonnet. Are you tracking everybody's calls right now and how many calls they're making per day?
We are not.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Should we be making less calls or more calls during this period?
More calls.
All right. How many people are making the same amount of calls that they were making? Raise your hand. How many people think they need to be making more calls? Come on, Martha. Get that hand up, Martha. Okay. Now, let me tell you why. This is important. When you get scared, you see a form of contraction and consideration is, I'm not going to work the selling system during this period. I'm working from home. My routine's all screwed up. I'm out of a routine. Okay. My daughter is out of school. And the very first thing we told her is you're going to have a routine. You're going to get up at this time. You're going to do schoolwork from this time to this time. And so we forced her to sit down and draw up her schedule. She's 7 years old. So she said from 7 to 8, I'm doing this. From 8 to 10, I'm doing this. From 11, right? Here's what's interesting. She put 4 recesses in her schedule when she drew it up. I'm like, do you have 4 recesses at school? No, Daddy. And I'm like, well, you don't need 4 recesses at home. You need 1 recess, right? Like even at 7 years old, they start trying to get out of things they're supposed to be doing. Right. And I'm like, so what do you think a real estate agent's doing now? They're not making their calls. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. They're not working a selling system. They don't have a hit list every day. They're not working their farm club every day. I'm telling you, I'm doing the exact opposite. We're making 200 calls a day. We're talking to people. Some of them ain't interested. Some of them are scared to death. Some of them are not spending any money. But guess what we're also doing? We're still making sales. We're still producing money. And it could be selling them something that they're going to buy in December or something they're going to take advantage of in December. So a healthy immune system in a business, right? A healthy immune system has got a great EOS. I got a great selling system. I got a 7-touch follow-up. Okay. I got a 7-touch follow-up. And I'm trying to get referrals out of my current client base. Could we be engaging with our current clients more during this period? Yes or no? Could we be calling past clients? Yes or no? Could we be calling on potential new clients? Yes or no? Could we be doing things to produce referral? I mean, new leads right now? Of course we can. So a healthy immune system, to Hotze's point, is I'm doing all these things every day. I don't care what's going on in the world. Every day I'm working the muscle. And when I work the muscle, I don't know about you, but the harder I work, the luckier I get, guys. The harder I work, the better I get. And the better I get, the more money I make. And so you got to draw a correlation between I need all my doors open. Okay. I need all my doors open. I need all my doors open right now. I need to be pushing right now. Okay. So here's the mindset. I'm building a healthy immune system. Okay. So what could I be doing during this period? I'm going to give you 10 things I think you need to be doing right now. Okay. 10 things. And then if I have your email, or you send me your email with your phone number, send it to lakin@coachburt.com. Lakin@coachburt.com. I'm going to send you the interview I did with Hotze. I'm going to send you the replay of this, right? I'll even throw in my $1 million follow-up system for you. My book, ebook, and 4-hour videos, because you need to be watching stuff like this during this period. All you got to do is email lakin@coachburt.com, okay? And I'll tell her what I'm going to send you. All right, so what are things you need to be doing right now? Okay, what are things you need to be doing? Number one, you need to be studying your business model. And here's what you need to be asking yourself. Is my business recession proof? How can I diversify my real estate portfolio? Okay, meaning if I've only got one way to make money in my real estate, what's another way? Okay, and I want to call on Kunal on this one. If you were teaching me how to diversify my real estate portfolio, my sales portfolio, what would you tell me to do? Like, what would you tell me if I'm only doing one thing? What else would you tell me to do?
As in Coach Burt, or if you're
I've got a real estate business. I'm helping buyers and sellers. That's the way I make money. Is there any way to diversify my portfolio where I'm doing more things? Or is it diversify who I'm calling on? Or is it like me?
Absolutely.
Like, think of it this way. One line of business for me, speaking, but I can't speak right now because all the events are canceled. So if that was the only way I made money, I'd be in trouble. Like, my short-term real estate's taking a hit because I own high-end real estate around the country and we're having to refund people's money. Okay, so what can I do? I called the bank and I said, look, we're not generating any money. Can you help me? They said, sure, we'll hold your payments for 90 days. No principal, no interest. All I had to do was make a phone call for them to do that for me, by the way. Number two, but if I only had the high-end real estate, I'd be in trouble. If I didn't have online coaching, if I didn't have online programs, if I didn't have products in the future to sell. See, I have diversified my portfolio. I was actually buying stock yesterday in long-term healthcare and in banks because I think the banks are going to come back if they get bailed out, and I think I'm going to make a lot of money with the stocks that I purchased yesterday. So what I'm telling you is we need to start thinking like business people. How do we diversify our portfolio? Here, what would you tell them, Kunal?
I mean, if I was talking to agents and team members, I think for us, we asked this question this past Monday when we had a team meeting, that for us, I asked the question, who are your clients? And our clients are typically buyers, sellers, and investors. Now I said, clients used to be buyers, sellers, and investors. In these market conditions, they're probably taking a backseat and going to a shell. Your clients today are realtors. Go talk to this. Sorry, my son just walked in. Our clients are realtors because these realtors need to be in a setup environment that allows for long-term success. And this is a blessing for us, the setup we have at EXP that allows us to have online brokerage setup, to have cloud-based solutions. And when realtors are going back into a shell and sitting at home and getting worried about, are they going to get paid or not? I mean, one setup is that we get paid directly at the closing by the title company. Other broker in the past, where you were at, the broker gets paid, then they pay the team lead, and the team lead pays the agent. I mean, just having the setup that you want to have financial control over your success when you close a transaction, you want to get paid right away. So the mindset of realtor that we're trying to shift, especially on our team, is stop focusing on clients who do not want to buy the home. Don't push them over. Keep the trust factor that, you know what, you're right. I think you should hold off on buying. If you really have to service clients, as in buyers or sellers, focus on investors because they'll be looking for deals at this point of time. So look up areas, look at the foreclosure listing, what's gone on the market, make a list of opportunities in the market and make a pool of investors to present to.
Now, here's the point that he's saying. Don't rely on one strategy. When I'm saying diversify, I'm saying use multiple strategies. If you call on investors and they don't want to take action for right now, that's not a wasted phone call. It's not like a wasted call. They like I'm calling on some people are saying we're not spending any money on anything non-essential right now, but as soon as we get through this, could be 2 weeks, could be 2 months, we're going to do something. That's not a wasted phone call. That's planting the seed. So what I've been doing during this period is I've been studying my business model and I've been going, okay, what works, what's not working. This is a great time to torch things that are not working, by the way. And I'm looking at how do I diversify my portfolio? How do I make sure we got multiple lines of business? How do we have multiple strategies that we're working? How do we keep pushing these products and services? How do we pivot to what the market needs? So for you, number one is you need to be studying your business model. You need to quit thinking like a realtor and start thinking like a businessman and a businesswoman. And businessmen and businesswomen are trying to figure out how to make it work with different things. This could be the best thing that's ever happened to you because it forces you to look at a new line of business, forces you to call on investors where you used to call on, direct consumers, forces you to call on new people, right? Like it's forcing you to work muscles you haven't worked in a while. Okay. And that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Number two, you need to look at underutilized products. You need to look at underutilized products, meaning there's probably things in your arsenal that you haven't used. Okay. Now here's my version of that. I have a kids academy. I have an online academy for $49 a month. I have a kids academy that's $97. We haven't pushed either one of those things. But now people are home. People have got their kids at home. People are spending time with their kids. They're looking for their kids for things to do. Now's the perfect time to push that product. Okay. So what I said to myself is, man, I got all these products. I got all these services that I've never utilized. I've never pitched them. I've never pushed them. I've never done free webinars to collect leads. I've never done, like, there's all these things I needed to be doing that I wasn't doing because I didn't have any pressure to do them. Now I have the pressure to do them. So number two is, what parts of your business are underutilized, undercapitalized on, that you need to work that muscle that you haven't worked in a while, right? What part of your business do you need to work the muscle that you haven't worked in a while? Okay. Number three, you need to increase on social. You need to increase on social. I'm doing more videos, more live feeds, more Instagram, more LinkedIn. I'm writing more articles. I'm doing more film videos. If you follow me on social, like, I'm doing so much more. I'm pushing. Now, here's what's happening. I'm doing interviews almost daily or webinars with people. And this is very important. When I do a webinar with Hotzi and we talk about how to build immunity from the virus, and I get 2,000 views, that's 2,000 more eyeballs on me. Then I'm doing an interview this afternoon with a disc expert. How does your personality handle crisis? Then I'm doing an interview tomorrow with Dustin Black, who founded Black Tie Moving. How does having deep networks during a crisis matter? Because he's a great networker. Now what I'm doing is I'm pulling all of his eyeballs and all of my eyeballs together, and I'm getting thousands and thousands of hits on YouTube and on my webinars, which is producing what? Buzz, interest, energy. Now, by me doing these on Facebook, guess what I'm doing? I'm getting a lot of people that used to be in my coaching program that are now coming back going, you're exactly what I need during this period, coach. Keep feeding us, right? Like, now I'm regenerating old interest. Old interest is turned into new interest. Okay. So during this period, you don't need to contract. You need to be pushing more on social. So if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you're doing stories, you need to be stimulating more right now. Okay. Next thing. And this is one of my favorite ones. You need to be increasing. You need to be planning promotion cycles. Meaning, most of us do not promote properly. We kind of half bake a promotion. Now you have time to plan proper promotion cycles. A promotion cycle is a period of time where you're pushing something with different strategies. Could include video, audio, marketing, phone calls, and you're pushing and promoting something. Okay. If you guys are doing recruiting events and you got recruiting events and you're scheduling those for June, you could start the cycle now, or you schedule them for May or whatever you're scheduling. Okay. And I don't know when you're scheduling things. I haven't canceled any of my events in May. I'm still doing a boot camp. I'm still doing a coaching summit. Like I've still got, and I'm tracking artists and entertainers. And most artists and entertainers that are on tour, if they had a concert in February, March, they have rescheduled it for as early as May. Okay. Now, if we sell tickets to those events, people can't come. What's the worst thing that can happen? We let them use the tickets that they already purchased, and we do it in June, or we do it in July, right? So I hadn't lost anything. Now I got a promotion cycle. Now I got longer time period to push and promote. Okay. I'm promoting correctly now, because now I've had a chance to slow down and go, okay, we have a product. We need to stay focused on pushing that product. Okay. Next thing, you need to be working your database. I am subdividing my database out, and I'm going at different groups in that database. Okay. So working the database to me means emailing with value, pushing them to something in the future, offering something during this period that they would take advantage of. You got to think about what your version of this is. But the number one thing is work in the database. So imagine you had open houses in certain subdivision, and you subdivide that out to those people, and you send a message directly to those people. Okay. Like me, imagine me coming and do an EXP event in Houston, and then we subdivide that out and pull all the EXP people out, and we go back and hit them with something. Hey, Coach Burke's Online Academy is $49 right now, $49 a month. Includes Monday calls with Coach Burke. Okay, boom, click here if you're interested. Okay, hey, right, here's the 7 ways we can sell houses during this period. Here's the 10 things you need to be doing during this cycle. Like give something, give, and then ask. Give, and then ask, okay? All right, next one, reconnect with disengaged clients. Reconnect with disengaged clients. This is a perfect time to go back to people. Say, hey man, been thinking about you. Love you, appreciate you. I apologize I haven't been in touch with you. Now I'm stuck at home going stir crazy. I'm calling all my clients. Okay, I want to stay involved in your life. I want to be involved in your life. We're calling old clients, people that used to be in our coaching program. If I was selling houses, I'd be calling everybody. Okay, I'd be calling everybody, talking to them. How's it going? What can we do for you? You never know where you're going to shake the sugar tree loose. Okay, now I'm going to stop here and pause and tell you a story. Last week, we had a gentleman that followed me on Instagram that was coming to my Shout event with me and Tim Story and Sharon Lecter. And he had some kind of funky Instagram name, and I didn't really understand. It was NOWII or something. And so I just thought, who's this dude? And we get a ticket order from the guy, but we had to postpone the event. But he came into Nashville, and he reached out to me on Instagram, and I was in Nashville, and he said, man, I come in for the event, but you moved the event. I'm in town. Why don't you come meet me? And I'm at my condo in Nashville. I'm laying on the couch, taking a nap, right? It's at night. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm thinking, no, I need to go meet this dude. Well, comes to find out his Instagram name is backward for millionaire. And I go down and meet him, and he owns 1 million square foot of warehouse space in Kentucky. 1 million. That companies are paying millions of dollars to store things in. Okay. And he says, and we have a great dinner, and he says, hey, why don't you come to Kentucky and see my operation? Well, guess what they're storing there? Toilet paper. Okay. They've got raw materials for paper plates. This dude is making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And so I'm sitting there like, dang, I would have never known it. He had some funky Instagram name. I thought he was a nobody. He's not a nobody. He had 30 cars. He's got a Bugatti. I didn't know what that was. It's $1 million car. Okay. So he's taking me in there, showing me all these luxury cars he's bought. He's 42 years old. He's making millions of dollars. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, like this is why you pick up the phone. This is why you take the meeting. This is why you call on somebody, because you never know who's on the other end of that. Now, you may say, well, are you going to sell him something, coach? It's not a matter of selling him something. It's a matter of being connected to him. It's a matter of who is he connected to. It's a matter of who will he tell. It's a matter of me spending a day with him. It's a matter like you got to quit thinking this is a wasted phone call if I call this person. You don't know what's going to be on the other end of that phone call. When you call a past client, you may call a past client and they go, you know what? It's the perfect time, man. I don't like the current house I'm in. I'm ready to buy a new house. I want you to sell this one for me and do that. You never know until what? Until you work that muscle, right or wrong. You never know till you work that muscle. All right, next one. You need to partner. This is the perfect time. I'm going to combine two together. You need to be partnering with big time people and share a mindset and skill set to emulate. Now, let me tell you what my version of that is. I'm doing webinars with big time people, and we are live streaming those on Facebook. So during this period, I'm reaching out to experts and I'm going, hey, let's do a 30-minute webinar. You and I, let's live stream it on. And each expert has their own expertise. Okay. So Dustin Black, the guy who founded Black Tie Moving, he's connected to real estate agents everywhere. And I'm going to Dustin and I'm saying, hey, let's do a webinar on the power of having a deep network during a crisis. Okay. Then I'm doing one with this one. Then I'm doing one with this one. Then I'm doing one with this one. And it's just content, man. I'm partnering with big time people. This is the perfect time for you to partner with big time people. Reach out. Let's do something together. Let's plan something together in the future. Okay. I'm going to combo that with the top 25 strategy. The top 25 strategy is you got 25 deep and meaningful relationships. You got 25 deep and meaningful relationships. When is the time to work those relationships? Right now. You need to be pounding on those people right now. How's it going? How can I help you? What's going on? Let's plan something for the future. This is the perfect time to work your top 25 because those people are movers and shakers. What do you think big time people are doing right now? Okay, many of you guys know Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey tells you cut your credit cards up, get out of debt. It's got a good plan. You know what Dave Ramsey was doing in 2008 during the recession? He was buying millions of dollars of real estate. He was sitting back, waiting. Recession hits, boom, he attacks. There is no telling how much real estate he bought during that cycle. Do you know some people, you know how many people, you need to be talking to people to find out who's sitting on cash, who's going to take advantage of this opportunity. If the economy goes down, there's people out there that have been sitting on millions of dollars to take advantage of this. Guess what? You want to be representing those people, right or wrong. This is the perfect time for you to be representing those people because that's how big time people think. All right, two more. You need to be going back to interested leads who have not taken action. An object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. An object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. I don't know how many leads you guys are generating every week, but there is no shortage of people to call on who have indicated interest in buying or selling a house. I guarantee you that. There's only a shortage of people calling on them. I can't tell you how many things I indicate interest in and nobody ever follows up with me. So what happens is they lose my interest. They had my interest. I was interested. They didn't follow up with me. Okay. And I lost interest. And because of that, they lost a deal. Okay. You don't want deal fatigue to sit in. When I send a deal to a person and I'm interested in them and they say they're interested, then guess what? I'm going to keep tagging them. Video, text me. Hey, I sent you something. Did you get to look at it? When are you going to be looking at it? Hey, can we do this? Kanal is good at this. Okay. It's like a pit bull on a bone. It's like, man, I'm going to keep your attention. I don't want to lose your attention, right? Because I don't know when the trigger event's going to come for a person to go, you know what? Stu's right. I'm ready to take action. An object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. And here's the last thing. You need to be working on projects that have been neglected. You need to be working on projects that have been neglected. Now, this is important. There's all kinds of projects that do not get their attention. It may be time to torch something. It may be time to redo something. It may be time to rethink something. It may be time, but there's all kinds of projects that you've got going that you could say, man, this is the perfect time for me to be doing this. Okay. I'm doing all 10 of these things I just shared with you. Okay. I'm doing every single one of them. Okay. And at the same time, simultaneously, and I've got more effort than I've ever had. So I want you to think about doubt for a second. Doubt is when you have a double vision. You have a vision of going, boom, and you have a vision of staying. You're looking at two different visions. If you study the word decide, the word decide means to kill off. You're burning the ships. You're killing off a decision. You're eliminating an option. Well, my decision during this period of crisis is we're still going to hit our sales numbers. We're still going to work our system. We're still going to stay in a routine. We're not going to get out of a routine. We're not going to develop bad habits. We're not going to not do what's made us successful. Matter of fact, we're going to do it more. Every day I have to sell my team on that because they're getting all kinds of noise from people. Every day I got to resell them. Let's go into battle. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to win. And I'm starting to see little glimmers of fight in them. Like, hey, I had a great call with so-and-so. Hey, I just sold something. Hey, I just got this. Like, right? Like it's, come on, let's go. Let's do this. This is a period we got to work. Okay. Because I guarantee you a lot of people are not going to work. And because of that, they're going to be in trouble. Undisciplined people get disciplined in bad markets. I'm not saying it's a bad market, but if you're undisciplined, you don't work the system, you will be the first one to get disciplined. Okay. Now I would tell you from being a business owner, the only people I would ever lay off during a time that we didn't think are people that I probably should have already laid off before we got started. You know, you follow what I'm saying? Like the only people I would cut are people that have put it in my mind to already cut them. Okay. Cause you know why? They're not producing any revenue or they're not saving us any money. And what they're doing is just bringing some type of attitude to the equation every day. So I've not laid people off during this period. I did fire my AR person during this period because she wasn't bringing anything to the table and she had a bad attitude. And so I said, I ain't got time during this cycle to have any bad attitudes. She's got to go. Okay. Now I give her a year. She didn't turn a good attitude. I'm like, look, I ain't giving you any more time, man. You're out. All I got time for right now is people who come to work every day with a good attitude. Okay. So for you, I want you to understand the way you make yourself valuable to the world. The way you make yourself valuable to the world is you keep fighting every day. You keep working that system every day. You start practicing these 10 things because you don't have time for anything else. All right. What questions do you have on this right now? Okay. Sonnet, I want you to add a little bit to what I talked about today. Where do you think people can get a lift during this cycle?
Sorry, repeat that?
Where do you think people can get the biggest lift during this cycle?
You mean as team members or just people you're calling on?
Yeah, no, team members.
I think kind of what you're saying, I mean, getting people who are undisciplined, getting them to be disciplined right now is key because, you know, everybody always says they're very, very busy and they don't have time for things and nothing happens. But if you actually take this time and, you know, make those phone calls and follow up with people and present opportunities, I think what people would see is that all of a sudden things start to happen a bit, or
Right.
there's potential leads, or there's potential opportunities that they didn't previously have. And then all of a sudden, when the team member has potential opportunities, well, then they'll start feeling more positive about things. It'll motivate them to do things more, right? I feel like this is a good time to, I mean, again, not use the word check in with people, but just follow up, you know, and present opportunities and, you know, see how they're doing, but also talk about opportunities that are out there. You know, if they were previously thinking about selling, well, here's what's going to happen. You know, maybe we have a shortage of inventory. Could be a good time to sell it when we get back on in a couple of weeks. If they're looking for buying, we talked about that with investors potentially, that, hey, there's going to be some great opportunities. You know, builders really got to move some homes. End of the quarter's coming up. I mean, there's a lot of ways when you can call somebody, you can make it an opportunistic phone call.
Yes. Here's what I'm telling you. Just study where opportunity happens. It happens when there's movement, circulation, energy, and attack. It never happens from stagnation, guys. A lot of people in the United States will use this as an excuse not to work. They'll use it as an excuse to get out of a routine. They'll use it as an excuse not to make phone calls. They will get crushed by the people who are doing things they don't want to, those people don't want to do. Trust me. The people who are going to win are going to play offense. People who are going to lose are going to play defense. Okay. So, all right, Kendra, what did you take away from today's session? There you go.
I really like the idea of sending out emails that add value or contacting people and adding the value, like telling them now. It's almost you're still reeling them in, you're letting them know you're still working, you're still busy, and you're giving them something to kind of keep in their mind. So then when all of this does blow over, you can kind of revisit that. So it's kind of a combination of that and the follow-up, the touches. So I'm touching them now, and then I'm going to make sure I touch them again, and I'm going to bring that topic up again. Remember we talked about that? Now that things are better, now can we maybe push forward and see what opportunities are coming from whatever that added value is?
You know, a guy in my space that I really have a lot of respect for, he he laid a bunch of people off, and then he left the city he was in, where all of his people were. And I thought never in a million years would I do that to my people. Number one, it's one thing to lay people off because you have to, because financially you just got to. It's another thing to lay a bunch of people off and then leave, as almost if you're retreating from those people. My stance has been, I'm going to get in here and fight with my people. I'm going to get in here and go to battle with my people. I'm going to get in here and show them I'm willing to make the 80 phone calls, just like you are. I'm willing to work the muscle. I'm just as scared as you are, but I'm going to get in here and I'm not going to sit around and do nothing, because that's never a solution to a problem, right? Like I want to teach you during this period. It's a perfect time for me to show you how to be mentally conditioned. Okay. I want to teach my 7-year-old daughter how to be mentally conditioned to where she's tough. When things happen to her, she don't quit. And listen, 6 out of 10 people I talk to as a coach have got some really bad attitude during this period. Pessimistic, scarcity. Like, I'm like, dang, you ain't never going to win like this, man. You ain't never going to win with this type of mindset during this period. Action cures everything. At the end of the day, I don't care what it is. Action cures everything. Now, I would tell you this just by studying it. We have a president that is a businessman. He's not going to let the economy stay stagnant for long. Okay. And whether he gets in an argument with the CDC, whether he says, look, but he's going to say a couple things. For me to win re-election, I got to get Americans working and making money. Okay. So he came out yesterday and said, I want the economy back and going by Easter. Okay. Now, here's what I'm telling you. We're going to have to get in there and keep money flowing, keep active, keep doing. Okay. Because if not, the financial damage will be much greater than the actual virus if we don't keep Americans working and moving. You understand what I'm saying? Just because it can't work, man. If you ain't got any money, you can't do anything. Kunal, what do you want to add to this?
I think adding on to having discipline and structure, and something I knew going in last Monday, the next few days, next few weeks, we're going to have an opportunity to not be in the office, work from home. And for me, what's really critical is having the right mindset and having the right environment. So last few weeks, last about a week or so, I spent the time in setting up my home office for success. I mean, I'll pan around and show you. I have this big whiteboard. I've put all these lines. I have names on there, prospecting, clients, talent, all those things. I brought my wall art from the office because I want to walk into this space, not feeling different from when I was in the office. But you know what? Yes, it's lazy time and kids and parents and all that stuff. But this morning, 8:30, I was on my desk. The previous night, I was in this room putting names on this list, who I'm going to call today, prospect today, clients, realtors, whatever those may be. I mean, already made some phone calls today. I have a big phone call with a big agent at 1 o'clock this afternoon. I have a few more this afternoon. So it's all about, having a posture of, you know what, this is a great time. If you have the mindset, it is a bad time. Or, we have lost listings. We've lost business in the last few weeks. Sellers saying, I don't want to list the home, buyers backing on the contract. It is going to happen. But if I allow that one failure to have a different defensive posture mindset and prospect next opportunity, I'm going to be begging for business. I'm going to come across as desperate. Hey, realtor at Remax, at Keller Williams, I think you should look at EXP. Now, when I talk, hey, here's what we're doing. We're in a position of success based on environment. Where are you at? You still want to hang out over there? Okay, see you in 6 months when you're in a bad financial situation. And next. So I think in my opinion, the environment and your mindset plays such a critical role for us to be successful, because all the other things are variables that you cannot control. Market shutdown, Fort Bend County, all that stuff. You can control that, but you can control your office space, your workspace, your home environment to stay in a positive posture and positive mindset.
Yeah, this is a perfect time. It's going to separate out the pretenders from the contenders, guys. And here's the deal. You don't want to be working on one deal. If something cancels, something loses, person doesn't want to sell, you want to have 20 deals you're working. So when you lose 2 or 3, you don't miss anything. So the only way to do that is have a very high hit list, a very deep pipeline, a very thorough system. And the system is where you build the immunity. You understand what I'm saying here? Like for example, I'm on an eating plan from Optavia. It's how I lost all the weight I did. I went from 191 to 168, 170, and I'm on these vitamins. So every morning I take all these minerals, vitamins. I'm on an eating plan, and what that does is it builds a strong immune system for me. So when I do get a virus or I do get sick, I'm able to fight it off a lot faster. Okay. It doesn't knock me down. Well, the same thing is true of your business. The minerals and vitamins your business needs: daily prospecting, high number of calls, deep follow-up, high contact. If you don't do that, you're susceptible when the economy shifts. If there is a recession, then you just keep going because you got a big, thick pipeline. Now, notice this: because I've not been able to go out and see people, and speak, that's where I primarily generate my leads. So what have I done? What have I completed? I've taken all of that online, free webinars, team sessions. I produced just as many leads over the last week through webinars than I did when I was speaking, because I had to adapt. It's just one wrinkle. Okay, I can't go speak. Okay, I understand. What can I do online right now? How can I stimulate more people right now? How can I generate 400 or 500 leads? So when I get off here at 1 o'clock today, I'm doing a whole webinar on my selling system. I created one Zoom, one graphic. It said how to generate sales without spending any money during this period. And the next thing you know, I got 100 people on there. Those 100 people gave me their name, phone number, email. Those 100 people will be called back by our sales team. Hey, did you like Coach Burt? Did you get the selling system? Did you know we got a $49 online academy right now? Everybody see that? Now we got 100 leads. That's a value ladder. So they go in your world, they buy a little house, then we work on them. Then they say, I want to bump up to the bigger program. Then they bump up a little bit more, but we got to initiate the cycle. I'm adapting just like you need to adapt. But what I don't need to do is sit here and go, man, what am I going to do? I can't speak. That's my number one way I drive leads. Like, what am I going to do here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take action. Action cures fear. Okay. And that's the number one thing you need to be doing right now. Any questions for me?
No question, Coach Burt, but a good observation. So the faces that you see on the roster today, Martha, she lives in Cypress area, which is about 45, 50 minutes from where our office is. Kendra, she's been a team for about a month and a half, but as you can see, she's not keeping well, but she's on this call. Amore, she's in the area and she's very attentive. She attends all the meetings. Of course, Sonnet. Raj, he's in Boston with his family. And someone is on iPhone. I can't see who this person is. What's funny observation is that when we would have team meetings in person or Coach Burt in person, I see a consistency in people's commitment, which is, okay, you know what, it's driving distance. I can't come to Pomona for coaching event, but I can go there. I've got closing going on, got client servicing going on, showing going on, blah, blah. This is a web call, and we send, if not multiple messages to our team that this afternoon, 11:30, Coach Burt on webinar, and Kendra being at home, being sick, she can get on it. Oh, that's Laura. It's good to see who that person is. We can get on the call, and the same faces I know, people who are consistently committed to their own success by driving to the office or attending coaching sessions in the past, the same faces over here. And the people who make excuses, guess what? The same people are not on this call. So I'm glad that what we're going through, because it's giving me an insight about, people who want to commit to their own success, they will do whatever it takes to commit to being trained, being coached, being mentored. And if you want to make an excuse, you find an excuse or whatever. Oh, we had a newscast happening at the same time. I had to listen to it live. Come on. I mean, if you want to make excuses. So this has been incredible for us, me and Sonnet, that we are looking at a position of more success now. We believe that in these market conditions, a lot of realtors who do it part-time and are not committed and are just, mom and pop flybys, they're going to drop out of the race. And when this market comes around in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, the same sellers who are considering listing for sale by owner or listing with their uncle, aunt, or cousin, they would want a professional team to come out. So we are working on strategies to be in the mind of these people right now. So one strategy right now, every day for 2-3 hours, you're going to prospect our past clients. We have 1,400 people that we have serviced the needs, buying and selling from the last 5-6 years. He's going to have a block of time. Every day he's going to call them. My strategy is in the morning, 2-3 hours, I'm going to prospect realtors. So I'm loving this time. Yes, it's stressful, but this is the time when I know the non-performers are going to drop out. People who want to do a sales transaction, they're going to call on us to handle. So again, agents on this call, agents on a team, it's going to be tough and challenging, but then this is the time when you sit up, have your head high and run with it, because times are going to come around. They're going to get better. Your posture and your mindset is super critical, which Coach and I can talk to you all day long and infuse energy, infuse all that stuff. But unless you get on your own, that, you know what, I'm the best and I'm going to get it, nobody can help you.
Yeah. And listen, I want to close with this. It is of deep benefit One thing I didn't tell you about the guy who's making millions of dollars owning warehouse space that's companies are storing toilet paper and all those things. One thing I didn't tell you about him is in the early 2000s, he had a very strong mentor, and that mentor coached him, and he coached him tough. His mentor was from Texas. He founded Equinox, which is a very successful multi-level marketing company. And his mentor, I said, how did he coach you? And he said, oh, he coached me tough. And when I say tough, he would say things like argue with his mentor, and his mentor would say, do you want to be rich or you want to be right? Because if you want to be rich, you need to shut up because you don't know what you're talking about. And I do know what I'm talking about. And this guy, so I asked him the other day, because I've been so impressed with this guy. I said, how often do you talk to your mentor? And he said, there's probably not one day that goes by that we don't talk. And he said, it's not that we always talk about business. He said, it's just being around him and his mindset that gets me thinking as big as I think. Now, you guys are fortunate to be on a team that you have two big thinkers leading you. And this tough love that Kunal gives you from time to time, if you really want to play at the high level, that's the kind of tough love you need. You need somebody to say, look, you're not making enough phone calls. You're not working the system. Now, you want to be rich or you want to be right? You want to be rich or you want to be lazy? Now, you tell me which one it's going to be. You want to sell houses or you want to complain about selling houses? So sometimes in life, when I see real successful people, all of them have somebody conditioning them. And conditioning them is that's their coach. Their coach is conditioning them to be tough. Like right now, I'm trying to teach people to be tough. Don't be so wimps, right? Don't the very first time that you have a problem, you want to quit. Like fight through a little bit. Get some spunk in there. Get a little tiger in your tank. Let's go. So I think some people need this. So I'm proud of you for showing up today. Let's keep coaching you. Let's keep pushing you, and let's go make something happen during this period. All right, you gotta have.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.